What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the program, welcome back to the show. Today's topic of discussion, once again, is Angelina Jordan and the news of her signing to Republic Records. But this time I want to talk about whether or not you think it's a net positive or a negative that she is signed to this major label, and if in fact signing to a major label in 2020 is even a necessary thing to do. One thing about the music industry and one thing about huge mainstream major label global music is that it has to be catered, it has to be curated, it has to be marketed, it has to be packaged in the way that the label wants. Because if you're going to reach the highest number of ears, and you have to ask yourself, what is the goal? What's the goal of the artist? What is their dream in its most pure form? Is it simply just reaching as many people, as many minds, as many souls, as many ears as possible? Or is it a loftier goal, or is it more vague in nature? But the question is, in 2020, we now have the internet. We have places where music can be recorded, and you can self-produce. You can self-produce records. You can self-finance records. You can crowd-finance records. You can buy studio time. You can make your art without the outside influence of not just songwriters, but A&Rs, label executives coming in and muddling with the art. So it's been interesting seeing all of the comments, all of the feedback, all of the discussion going on, and the different opinions and viewpoints as to whether or not this really is a positive thing. And of course, I'm talking about this news of Angelina signing to Republic Records as a quote-unquote high priority artist, or the high priority artist. I'm going to read through some comments, and I really want to hear from you guys. These videos seem to have been a good place for people to gather and give their opinions and talk about it in the comment sections. So we'll continue that with this video. Let's get into some comments here. First comment I'm going to read is from the iconic Rusty Shackelford, of course, Avatar Dale Gribble from King of the Hill. And this was on the video discussing what type of album you would like to see from Angelina. Rusty says, as I said before, my main wish for Angelina is that she gets to be whatever she wants to be. And I think that's a fantastic point. Her music really needs to be exactly what she wants to do. It needs to be exactly her vision. And so I think that's one of the worries that a lot of people have had when they did see this news, that she's going to be overly controlled, overly manipulated. I don't mean manipulated like her mind's going to be manipulated, but her music is going to be not exactly what she would want to make. He continues, I don't know if anyone besides her family really knows what that dream is right now, and whatever her vision is at 14, it is probably going to change and evolve as she goes through her teens. I really hope she makes an album with just enough hits to expand her audience and still have enough of her real and meaningful quote-unquote stuff in the other tracks. I think we're going to see a lot of variety on her album. And this oft talked about album, we really have no idea when a supposed album would ever come to fruition. It's kind of like the Detox album from Dr. Dre right now. No, I'm just kidding. Just jokes. Rusty continues, my biggest fear is that they will overproduce her. And this is sort of what I was discussing a few minutes ago. I've seen it happen before with an artist I really like whose solo stuff live was incredible. And then her studio releases were so overproduced that it lost all of its soul. I wholeheartedly agree with that sentiment. We have all seen that Angelina is at her absolute best when it's just her and a microphone and maybe a single guitar or piano. I agree. Her minimalism, she doesn't need an overproduced track. You really have to allow Angelina Jordan's vocals to come through, because she's got such an incredible vocal. It's so soulful, emotional. It's incredible. So to drown that out and to, manipulate it in a studio version, which is overproduced and just, we don't want these overly produced poppy type tracks. I don't think Angelina's main audience is looking for that type of music. So that's one of my, that's where my apprehensiveness comes in a little bit when we talk about signing on to a major label which has the likes of these artists, Taylor Swift and all of these different very, very upper echelon, huge album sale artists, and how they're handled, because they have handlers, and then they have to release albums on a specific schedule to line up with other artists on the label to maximize sales. They have to plan everything out. Everything becomes very planned, prepackaged, and it's like a factory just pumping out products. And especially in the streaming era, I should say, people, a lot of streaming providers and labels, the people that are financing these big albums, they want artists to release a ton of music. They don't want an album every 4 years. They want an album every 4 months. I know I'm off topic a little bit for what we were talking about with Angelina, but I'm going to continue with Rusty's point here. He was talking about how she's at her best when it's just her and the mic and maybe a single guitar or piano. This is where you can really hear how perfect and unique her vocals are. That will be lost if there's too many layered chorus effects and lots of busy beats and music. We saw that a little with Above the Water. People very familiar with Angelina could hear the Angelina through all the production on that one. But if that was the only example someone had of her singing, they would have no clue how good she really is. I agree. Overly produced. I didn't mind the track though. It was fine. I hope her album has a mix of stuff that gives a taste of lots of different styles so that people can see what she is capable of. And I agree. Henning Mathieson says, I share your concern about messing with Angelina's raw and natural voice. As for Above the Water, this was EDM, and mixing and processing vocals is very usual. I don't think that the EDM is going to be Angelina's natural habitat, but simply something she would try out. I also guess that the record company is well aware of what makes Angelina so popular. Lee Byrne, replying to Henning, says, all the people at Republic Records have to do is spend a couple of hours watching Angelina sing covers on her YouTube channels and the Reactors channels, and they know they have a singer who will go platinum with the right songwriter. She is the most versatile singer on the planet. She can do what big name singers like Taylor Swift, etc. are just not capable of, except in their dreams. So yeah, I'll just continue on that topic of artists and the evolution of not just packaging music as a product and marketing music, but how music is listened to, because physical media, I think we all know, is more or less going the way of the dodo. Besides the sentimental fans, there is a subset of, consumers of music who enjoy having that physical piece of media. But at the end of the day, physical media is dying. People are buying singles. They're not buying albums anymore. Things are changing to that degree. So the question is, does Angelina, if everything that we've been covering and talking about the last couple of weeks, the last month or so, about Angelina signing to Republic Records is all above board, the question is, and I'm interested to see what everybody's opinions on this is, and we don't even have to, relate this to Angelina specifically, but do artists, if they have a big fan base, if they have a platform that exists, why not just go about it independently at this point? You have those connective tissue social media platforms which can connect you to audiences all around the world. So what exactly does the record label provide other than financing, resources to get those records to as many people as possible? And how is that going to play out for an artist like Angelina Jordan going forward, because she's still so young? How are they going to market her music? Are they going to mismarket her music? And it's like her uncle said, Michael A-Star, get a good lawyer. So hopefully everything is fantastic. They have the ultimate control of the artistic integrity, the artistic direction of her sound, of the originals, of the songwriting, and what type of projects that we're going to get in the future. So it's all very interesting. I'm really excited to see how it plays out, excited to receive any sort of news. I know current events and the situation worldwide which is going on has certainly caged a lot of the, it's put a lot of stuff on the back burner, it's put a lot of stuff on hold. It's also shifted the consumer's perspective a lot of places. There's economic uncertainty, there's a lot of political strife, a lot of polarity within the sphere of societies worldwide. So that also puts a bit of a damper on music, and hopefully things get back to normal in the next year or two. But this video was about pluses and perceived negatives and opinions about whether or not you really need the record label at this point. So you guys let me know, and look forward to seeing you soon. Look forward to chatting down below, and if you'd like to see anything else on the channel, please let me know, and peace out. Have a wonderful day.